Hey everybody, Coach Toolshed here, and today I want to talk about the so-called entitled gamer. It's a term you've seen thrown around a lot in comment sections, in forums, in news articles, and I see it all the time, and it's something I want to talk about today, the so-called entitled gamer. It's often used as a pejorative, as a way to try to insult people, like, why are you so entitled, you entitled gamers? And it's a label that gets thrown around a lot, and I see it in comment sections all the time, and I'm sure if any of you are on YouTube, like you are now, you have seen the same comments that I see. So a lot of times when I see this word, it really kind of drives me nuts, because if you actually know what the word means, to be entitled means that you think that you deserve special privileges or special treatment. And when people say that gamers are entitled, a lot of times it's when people are dissatisfied with the product that they've purchased, or they have a question about something that a company is trying to sell, and people will say, well, why are you so entitled? You entitled gamers, why are you complaining about this aspect of the game? Or why are you complaining that that's not in the game? Why are you complaining about this and that? Well, the thing is the consumers are entitled, but they're not entitled in the way that people use the term negatively. Consumers are entitled to receive a fair deal, to not get lied to receive a product that functions properly. That is what we are entitled to. But when you use it as a pejorative and you try to denigrate people who are just asking honest questions about a game, or maybe they have a valid complaint about a game, and you're saying, oh, you're entitled, or you're toxic. Yes, you're a toxic gamer if you have a problem with a game or a company, or if a game makes a change in it, or if they make an announcement that maybe you're not happy with. And the thing is, if you are in a comment section, as long as you are not being, openly hostile, if you're not berating people, swearing at them, just acting like an ass, then if you just have valid questions or concerns, and people start coming after you with this, you're entitled, no, you have a valid concern as a consumer. It's your money on the line. You have every right to try to get some answers before you throw your money down. You have every right to speak up if you have a product that doesn't function properly, because you've paid for a product that doesn't function. Why is it that it's okay in the video game industry to sell a product that is broken, and if someone complains about it, they're entitled? In any other industry, if you go and buy a product and there's a problem with it, that's on the manufacturer of the product. That is not on the consumer to try to rectify the situation or to not be upset about it. That's not on them. So when you say, oh, you're entitled if you have a problem with a game that you've purchased, that makes no sense. That makes absolutely no sense. If someone is being respectful and saying, hey, this is a problem I have with this, it's not working properly, that's not entitlement. If you have a question about a game, if you want some answers about a game, after you spent some money on it, or even before you spent money on it, that's not entitlement. You're not looking for special treatment. You just want to be treated like a normal customer who buys any product from in any industry, any product. The customer shouldn't be treated like a piece of garbage. And too often in the gaming industry, the consumer is treated like garbage. And the problem is that you will often have people in the comment sections cheering on the developers, the publishers, who are just dumping all over people if they ask questions, or saying, oh, these stupid gamers, they're so entitled. And the other fans will just sit there and cheer them on and be like, yeah, you guys are entitled. You guys are so toxic. I see it every single day. And it goes for pretty much any game. Any game, you can go onto a video, and if there's anything even the slightest bit controversial about it, you're going to see people like, oh, that's toxic. You're toxic for complaining. You're entitled. Why are you guys so entitled? That's what the common mantra is. And yes, there are some people who do go over the line, who are over the top, full histrionics, just swearing at people, going after every single person that they see in the comment sections with no logic, no reason. They just want to get into a fight, or they want to start tweeting at the developers, getting all mad at them on Twitter, getting them all riled up. That's not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about when normal conversation, when normal questions about a game, about a product, when people try to shut that down by saying, shut up, you're entitled. That is what I'm talking about here. I'm not talking about the people who are clearly, obviously, over the top with all that stuff. And you know the difference when you see it. And if you want to act like you don't know the difference, then I don't think you're being intellectually honest. Because I'm pretty sure that the vast majority of us can spot when someone is truly going over the line and when someone is really asking a legit question. But a lot of people just want to shut down legit questions. They don't want to hear any criticism. They don't want to hear any negative comments. Two people just want to stick their fingers in their ears and act like their favorite game, their favorite developer, can do no wrong. Even though all of them have done something messed up at some point, but the diehards don't want to admit that. They don't want to go down that path where the thing that they like, there might be a fly in the ointment. There could be something wrong with that. And this is what I don't like. I don't like when people just assume that if you have a question about a game that you're in the wrong. I don't like it when if you have a problem with the game and you're like, okay, I've decided I'm not going to buy this, and people start saying, fine, get out of here, we didn't want you anyway. Guys, that helps no one. If people have a valid concern, ask them about it. Why don't you want to play it? What do you have a problem with? What is your deal? And if people really like the game, don't be like, oh, you're an idiot for liking it. Say, hey, what do you like about the game? Tell me, why should I get excited about this? And when people get upset about a game that maybe they've pre-ordered, and then an announcement comes out that maybe makes them change their mind about their pre-order, and people say, oh, the game's not even out yet, don't complain about it. Well, those people have already put their money down. So when you say that they're entitled to, if someone complains, for example, about maybe they pre-ordered Fallout 76 and now they maybe want some clarification about if they're actually going to be able to get into the beta on time, and Pete has to go to Twitter to try to clear that up, and people are like, oh, why are these gamers so entitled to want all these answers? Why do they want so many answers about these games ahead of time? Well, it's because there's money involved, and it's our money. It's the consumer's money. And at the end of the day, we fund these projects. I know that there's publishers involved, and there's investments and stockholders and other people who front the money initially. But at the end of the day, they only front that money because they are speculating that we are going to fill those coffers back up with our money. So at the end of the day, we are the baseline investor. So if we have a question about the product, if we have a concern about the product, if we have a concern about a company, or some of the things they say, some of the directions they're going, that's not entitlement. We're not looking for special treatment. That is what entitlement is. It's when you think that you're better than someone else and you deserve special treatment. That's not what this is. We just want to be treated like an average consumer who has bought a product or is going to buy a product, who is looking at buying a product. And we want some answers, and we'd like some accountability from the people selling us these products. That is standard business practice. That is not entitlement. Having a concern about a game is not toxicity. Someone who disagrees with you about a video game isn't an evil person. And this goes for both sides. People who want to defend a game, people who want to attack a game. The people who disagree with you aren't evil people. They disagree with you about a video game. It doesn't have to turn into a bloodbath. Figuratively. Hopefully not literally. But it doesn't need to get into a war on the comment sections. Or on the message boards. Or in the forums on the game's website. That's not how any of that needs to happen. We can have dialogue with each other without it turning into insults. And yeah, I know I get fired up once in a while when I feel that a developer is treating me like I'm a fool. When they're contradicting themselves. Yeah, that makes me mad. I don't usually get too mad about the the decisions that a game makes unless I feel that something has been misleading or something like that. And like I said, I know that this does go the other way in some ways. There are people, like I said earlier, that do go over the line to the point of lunacy. I know that. That is not what I'm talking about. I'm talking about people who are trying to have a civilized discourse. Maybe they're a little bit salty, maybe they're a little bit fired up, but if they're not being, over the top crazy in what they're saying, don't say they're entitled. Don't say they're toxic if they disagree with your opinion about a video game. That's ridiculous. There are people who are over the top. I know that. You know that. That's not who I'm talking about. I'm talking about your normal person who maybe has a problem with the game, has a problem with the developer, has a problem with some monetization, something like that. That's all I'm saying. The person who has a problem maybe isn't the worst person in the world. In fact, maybe if you talk to him, you'd find out that you guys maybe actually have a lot in common. Because I have met friends that I play with still to this day that are conversations originated as a disagreement in a comment section, believe it or not. But we came to terms. It can be done. You can come to terms with people in the comment section and make friends. And there's people that I still play with to this day that is how I met. And we still talk about games. So that's all I'm saying. As we head into the fall season, I know the gaming season is a little bit slow right now. But as we head into the fall and things start getting busy, just keep that in mind because there's going to be a lot of opinions flowing around. There's going to be a lot of people complaining here and there about stuff. But let them complain maybe. Okay? It's the only option they have. You can say, vote with your wallet, but that doesn't work. Because if enough people vote with their wallet and don't buy a product, the games get put on hold. The games get canceled. The games go on hiatus. Or they shut down the studios. That's the reality. If enough people, quote unquote, speak with their wallets, that has dire consequences far beyond someone not buying a specific game. That can shut down studios. So if people have to go to comment sections to complain because honestly that's really the only avenue they have to do so aside from voting with their wallet, that doesn't make them terrible people. Okay, I've gone on enough. I hope I've driven my point home. I hope you understand what I'm saying. That's all I got for today. Next week, we're going to be looking at some all new topics. I want to go over the Fallout 76 stuff. I want to say where I'm at right now and what I think is going to be happening. And then we'll see when Todd Howard goes up next weekend. I'm going to watch his conference and see if they make any announcements that changes my mind about some of my speculation. But I'm going to put my speculation down first, throw it out there for people to dissect beforehand. So that's what I'm going to be working on for next week. Thank you for watching this video. I will talk to you later. I am Coach Toolshed, and as always, keep it turned to 11.